the way the MCU and Disney has been introducing characters, because you've been saying like they just been throwing them twice, it's just like scattered here and there and out, right? How do you compare that? And I'm going to go to a different universe and different even comics.
DC, go ahead.
How do you feel like James Gunn, Superman, introduced the 3 characters? Like, you can indicate.
Good question. Go ahead.
Because I think, in my opinion, because I was just watching it off like Instagram and all that, like they a lot of people liked how they were introduced, and that like not even the way they were introduced, but like the filter that they were used to even introduce them. So why was that a success versus how MCU introduces characters?
I like what Johnny. That was a great question.
Yo, what is good? It's your boy PJ and DJP with another episode of the Real Ass Podcast. And if you're not subscribed, that is effed up. Make sure you subscribe right here. Check out our TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube channels right here. But not to get too quick into it, we are talking about Ironheart. If you already seen it, we did a podcast before, which is we had not watched it before, and we did the reaction based off all that, and this is the after. So me and DJP already had the conversations, and I already kind of tricked him in there because I kind of got his response. I built questions already to develop into a deeper podcast, deeper questions into
this is a very deep
to the comic books, because it's, and then I usually do this because like this is the way I learn. This is the way I try to understand like the comics and everything, and the correlation between the shows and the comics. But at the end of the day, I feel maybe you're wrong, or maybe I'm wrong.
Oh God,
do you feel like at least the MCU fans that are watching all the movies are trying to get an understanding of where they're going to the direction to finally lead up to Avengers Doom?
You talking about with her being there?
With our
like just in general?
Like okay, so like before seeing it and people seeing it, obviously people seeing it after they're able to understand, but beforehand, like people, at least for what I thought they were gonna at least introduce her somehow, some way to be included to the Avengers Doom.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Yeah. So if you're saying like with her included, nah, because I maybe with Wakanda Forever, I seen it like okay, this is the way to introduce you into the MCU. Definitely get you on your own path to do your thing. And I think they went the right way with like, okay, we introduced you, now let's give you your own show. I would have thought a movie probably would have been better, but after seeing the show, I didn't feel like her character mattered. I'll say that much.
Okay, when you say don't matter, like you're saying like we didn't need her or the series at all, or what are you saying?
You didn't introduce it. It wasn't significant enough to the universe where it's like we needed this person, or we needed another Iron Man. I feel like I'm gonna use somebody else. Her and Miss Marvel. If you watch Miss Marvel TV show, I think it's trash, but whatever. Miss Marvel and Riri are the same character in the sense that they're just both big fans of these Avenger characters, and they want to be a part of something bigger, and it's cool. But there's no real reasoning to why we need you here. You're just that's like us being fans of a rapper Drake, and we just want to rap, and we just make a mix. Like we don't really hip hop don't need you. Like, you're not really needed here. But that's how I feel. Well, go ahead, dog. How you felt about it? You felt like it was. How you felt?
So how I feel about it is just, you know me, I always like relating it back to the comic books. So in the comic book, she does meet Victor Von Doom, and it's basically they meet after the infamous Iron Man, when Iron Man basically falls into a coma, and Victor Von Doom takes over his place to basically redeem himself because he feels like bad about like all the bad stuff he did.
So I didn't know this story, so you enlightening me. So keep going. I didn't know this story. Go ahead.
And maybe you guys can correct me in there. With me and my brother who are
Tony Stark or Victor?
So Tony Stark falls into a coma.
Got you.
And then basically he leaves like basically an AI version of, or like a digital consciousness of himself, right?
Got you.
And then basically the reason why he does that is for Riri, so that way he can teach her and essentially become, I guess, what you're against, the next Iron Man,
the next generation
Iron Man. But so that made sense, and I thought that's a whole reason why I thought this show was gonna take place, and it would make sense if they include that. She meets Victor Von Doom. Okay, cool. Now we know why Disney included this character to lead up to the Avengers Doom. Somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, okay, I see.
After watching,
she meets Doom, and then we do Doomsday. Now it makes sense why she's in. Okay, go ahead. I got you.
That's the only way.
Makes sense. That makes
that's
sense.
The only way I going into it before watching, I thought, okay, cool, this is how they're gonna do it. But there's no connection whatsoever to the Avengers Doom or like the whole Tony Stark, becoming, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it threw it off. So that's the only thing that threw it off for me. But as a show, it wasn't bad, bro. It was actually a pretty decent show. It was good to watch.
I agree with you on that. It wasn't as bad as everybody make. Did I show you that video of the people being kind of racist? We'll play it right here.
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know if I'm supposed to like it or not.
Yeah.
You could tell when she said stepdad that it was going to be about black people.
Black girl magic.
It's moved. What would her Jarvis be called?
Jemima?
Jarvisqua. I already said Jarvisqua.
Jaquisha. I think Jamichael works.
I'm going with Shanae.
I'm gonna go with shit.
Wow. Likely.
Shit. I think you mean Shithiad.
Joanna Man. Joanna Man.
Joanna Iron Man.
Joanna Iron Man.
Joanna Father.
Oh my god,
bro! Is that not a crazy thing? They use all of the black stereotypes and like.
How do you feel about that?
No, I just think that's crazy. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna be real, bro. Being black, bro, like obviously. When we see Black Panther, it was beautifully done. It was cool to see. Everybody was black, pretty much. We get it. It was like the Africa of Marvel. It's cool.
Yep.
But then, like, one thing, and I will give Robert Downey Jr. credit for that. I've seen a post where he said, like, if you don't like this show, then you're just racist. I do appreciate him saying that. Him being the actual mantle of the guy that everybody wants to see. But nah, bro, like. I don't like Ironheart myself, but it ain't because she black though. Like y'all made they went with all the stereotypes. Like, oh, should we call her Jarvis like Shaniqua and all this? I'm like, God damn, like this is crazy.
It was at that point, bro. After that watching that video, it was less about the like Marvel and everything. They were just straight up like fat dudes like that don't have anything going for them. Racist, bro. That video got me so mad. I was just like, what the like. What? Like, they made no comment on the actual like fact about the MCU. They were just making some racial comments, bro.
Nothing. And like I said, so after seeing that, and I realized I was kind of part of the group that was hating on her, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just take a chill pill. No, I would agree with you. It really was not that bad of a show. I don't think it really had enough significance. But I was like, again, and also, Johnny, I've been telling myself lately, is like, bro, I'm 35 years old. All of us are grown, but I'm 35, bro.
Yeah.
Marvel's probably we're probably not Marvel's target audience
anymore.
So they're probably like, look, I'm making this for kids, 8 to 25, whatever it is. But Marvel got to realize you still got adult fans here, bro. Like we roll with these mother effers.
So I'm so glad that you went into that and the whole audience and everything. So this goes into my first question. Why do you think Ironheart, at least to you, is pointless, and what's missing for you?
It's just, and I make this one simple. It's just pointless. Like I said, there's no real introduction to her. It would have been better if, again, comic book wise, what you said is accurate. That's cool.
Yeah.
Movie wise, you never bridge the gap. Like again, it just felt like a woman that just was a big fan of Tony Stark and realized how smart she was, and she's like, I can replicate making a suit like that, and made it. But Tony Stark created that suit because it was life or death. That's what your stories start. You made all these weapons for everybody. So when you was in the cave and about to die and you needed to make a suit, that's what made you
from scratch.
That was when you became Iron Man in the head, not the suit. Riri is like, that's a cool suit. I can make one too, and you made one that's cool. But what's the reason for you making a suit like this?
Okay. So has she had like her full origin story? Like Ironheart 1 movie, Ironheart 2, Ironheart 3, and then we had the Ironheart show, and then she follows up in the shadows of Tony Stark. What do you think? Maybe she'd be more accepted?
She would be more accepted if there was a movie. But what I would say is you have to bridge the gap, like you just said. Comic book wise makes sense. Yeah. Movie wise, it would have been like Tony Stark died right during the whole war thing, right?
Okay.
And then Tony Stark's daughter's like, I want to be Iron Man. And then her friend was Riri. That was Tony Stark, Morgan's friend. Oh. And then she's like, you know what? Your dad inspired me. I'm going to do this. And you show a little flashback of something. Cool. But just to be like, Tony Stark died. Tony Stark lived in New York. And you live in Chicago. And you never met this nigga ever a day in your life.
Ah, okay. That's
what the hell we doing? Like, if Peter Parker would have been like, I'm going to be Iron Man, makes sense.
Because they had like a whole relationship.
This is just like DC. Okay. This is just like DC. They had times where Bruce Wayne couldn't be Batman. You know who took over? Nightwing was like, I'm going to be Batman. And he put on the Batman suit. And they said, why are you Batman now? And he said, because if Gotham knows that there's no more Batman, it'll lose pretty much like the fear that Batman put into Gotham.
Yeah.
Batman, I don't want to lose that. So anybody that is of that age can be Batman. As long as, because just to keep the image of Batman alive. You don't know who's under the mask. Riri, go ahead, bro.
No. That's fine. So I mean, like what kind of story in, like, let's say you're putting the artist or the director's chair, right?
Yeah.
Like, how would you, and what kind of story would actually make Ironheart worth it to you?
Man, it would have been like the blip happened, right?
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, no, I think we're gonna go with this. Yes. The blip happened,
right?
Yeah.
And the 5 years, right? Riri was there, and Tony Stark was gone. Because remember, Tony Stark, he was on. No, actually, I lied. The blip happened, and Riri was able to survive and not get, gone, whatever, snapped away.
Right.
And she felt like, man, this is the first time I was in a position where I was vulnerable. I couldn't do anything. I don't have any powers. The closest inspiration I have is a nigga in a suit named Tony Stark. I want to get in contact with this nigga to become like him. And maybe she reached out to Tony Stark. Tony Stark turned her down. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to make a nigga like my own suit. And let's say that she made her own suit, right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Let's say that she made her own suit. And during the last war, she just popped up. And then Tony's like, who are you? And then she's like, I'm Ironheart, whatever. He's like, you can't be here. She's like, nah, nigga, like, I'm in my own suit. F that, I'm here. And then Tony, like, after the whole war was done, how'd he live? Hey, listen, that was crazy what you just did, but I like your suit. Come over to my lab. And now they'll be like, okay, now it makes sense. Now you went to a war that nobody wanted you at. You held your own, and Tony's like, let me take you over here to my lab, and let me see what your suit do. Then they built the Ironheart suit together. Then it'd have been like, okay, Tony had his hands on this suit with you.
Can I add to that? Because that was fire, bro. No. So no. That shit was fire, bro. Okay.
Go ahead.
Everything you said, okay. Let's just say, because you all the way up to where he leads up to the end game where he gets the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Let's say he does pass away.
Okay.
The whole time he felt bad before he rejected her.
Yeah.
He left the AI for her.
There you go.
Damn. That would have been fire, bro.
Hey, listen, bro, that was some fire.
That would have been fire. And then she's all sad and everything, and she builds a suit, and he is her AI interface.
And remember this. Remember that she was in the show. Remember she was in college, and she pretty much didn't have any more money to finish school.
Exactly.
What if Tony would have paid for the school?
Bro!
That's what I'm saying. It would have been hard. Like,
and the suit would have even been better.
And that's all I'm saying. So all this, she got expelled thing. All that was cool.
Damn.
It did, but it's like, nigga, you could have went a better route with this.
True.
But anyway, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, bro, that's how I felt. Things could have got better with her, bro. I let her just smile too, nigga.
Nah, man. I mean, the questions were leading up to that, so we finally got up to that. So the last question, because I'm so glad we got up to that.
Yeah, bro, that was beautiful.
Do you feel like do you have a problem more that they try to introduce like Ironheart, which basically we found out it has nothing to do with the build up to Avengers Doom, or do you feel that you have like more anger and hate towards this current phase?
Oh, beautiful, man! I think it's both, bro. I think this phase has been a disappointment. I don't even know if we're in phase 4 or 5 right now. But
can you list like the movies that are failures in this phase?
All right, so I'm gonna say this multiverse saga we're in.
Yeah, it's so
I'm gonna
weird,
say that
bro.
just
all over the place, bro.
So movies, I'm gonna say shows too. And phase 4 successful movies to me was Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yes,
that was beautifully done.
Great movie.
That was the last. Shang-Chi, decent. Okay.
I said what I said. I said it wasn't
decent. We start getting into shows like, goddamn it. And again, this is just all other stuff. You got the freaking Hawkeye show spinoff. You got the Falcon and Winter Soldier. You got goddamn it Agatha. I wouldn't really count the Daredevil stuff, whatever. But when you get into Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, let me down a ton. Ain't gonna say nothing about that.
Why?
Cause it was just like,
damn.
It wasn't bad, but it's, bro, where you could have went with the multiverse, bro, the only person they added in the Multiverse of Madness that I was like, oh my God, was Charles Xavier, because that introduced the X-Men. That was cool.
Yeah.
Nigga, you could have went with Tobey Maguire being there. Goddamn Wolverine would have been there. Anybody else? It's like the only person that was there that was really cool was really Mr. Fantastic. It was like, all right, we'll get this. It was cool, but to have the one black girl be Miss Marvel, it was just like, It was the same actors in different roles. I ain't like it. I thought they were gonna go so much deeper than that, bro.
Yeah.
There was rumors that Tom Cruise was gonna be a certain variant of freaking Iron Man.
What?
Like, it was a lot of stuff. Like, bro, Tobey Maguire was gonna be good. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm over that, bro. But that was one. Like I said, Doctor Strange. What other movie they had? Trying to think what movie. I know they had WandaVision. All this stuff was cool, bro. But it's just like, it ain't really stick, bro. And Thunderbolts.
Oh, I was waiting for you to say that,
nigga,
bro.
Ant-Man 3.
It was all right.
Ant-Man 3, right? Which was gonna introduce Kang Dynasty. Ant-Man was okay, but I'm like, dog, this multiverse, quantum realm stuff, it's like, nigga, it ain't hitting like that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, being a fan, I thought the multiverse stuff was gonna be the coolest thing. It really ain't, bro.
So, I mean, as far as like what we have with like Hollywood and everything, and like the technology we have, and the comic books that we know, like for example, when they had the Battle World,
yeah,
and they used to just bring different people to
Secret War, Secret War's gonna be about that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they just had different people like that's fire. Like, that concept is cool, but like, how can you introduce that concept, same idea within like the time frame of a movie or a couple movies? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I can say because I can see how they can do it, but it's just like the budget and the time that they have to do it, the time they have to do it. So I can see why and how it's difficult. But I agree with you. There's some shows and like, I would say some movies that we don't even need. You guys could have saved that budget for something else.
You know what I think they're doing? I think they're giving us all these shows, Agatha, all this stuff that didn't make it to the like movie theaters. I think they're giving it to be able to present more characters when we do get to the movies. For example, like Miss Marvel, right?
Okay.
I do not like that. And I don't hate her as a person, as a girl, but I hate that TV show. She's just annoying, whatever. They put her in Captain Marvel. That was also in this phase, horrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, they introduced her into Captain Marvel, right?
Yep.
I feel like they used that opportunity to introduce two characters because when you get into Secret Wars, you need a lot of characters. So I think they're just putting a bunch. Bro, think about Thunderbolts, bro. Adam Warlock. Like, they're just giving us niggas just to be like,
yeah.
So when we get to Avengers Doomsday, we're going to be like, bro, we got over 75 characters. Just like Endgame was. We have all these characters. Like, they just giving us movies just to say, well, you saw her back then. And that's what I'm saying with Riri. How are you going to walk into this Avenger Tower and be like, what's up, I'm here? True. Nigga, we don't know you like that.
Yeah, you're not like that. Yeah.
Nigga, we don't know you like. So, you're right. I just think they're just giving us stuff. Shang-Chi, right? Like, I don't even see the correlation with him. You just introduce a character that can just pop in out of nowhere and be yo, I live in goddamn San Francisco.
Yeah.
Nigga, we never heard of you.
Yeah, who are you?
Yeah. So, yeah, bro.
So, last question, we can end it on this. So, the way the MCU and Disney has been introducing characters, because you've been saying, like, they just been throwing in twice. It's just, like, scattered here and there and out, right? How do you compare that? And I'm going to go to a different universe and different even comics.
DC, go ahead.
How do you feel like James Gunn, Superman, introduced the three characters? Like, you can indicate
good question. Go ahead.
Because I think, in my opinion, because I was just watching off like Instagram and all that, like they a lot of people liked how they were introduced, and then like not even the way they were introduced, but like the filter that they were used to even introduce them. So why was that a success versus how MCU introduces characters?
I like what Johnny. That was a great question. I think with the Justice Gang, which is the Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, and Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
I think the reason why that worked is two reasons. I think as fans, I'm going to use realistic and then I'm going to use, obviously, in the movie.
Go.
As fans, we've already been waiting for a good Superman movie, right? So I think the fact that they introduced it the way they did, where it's like Superman's already in this universe. That's the one thing I'm going to say about this movie, and I'm not trying to get sidetracked. This Superman movie was good because, like, this was not the beginning. We didn't see it the way he got his powers.
It was not like another origin story?
It was like that. This is like the origin. It's like, nigga, I'm Superman. I'm already in society.
I'm already him.
Whenever I get knocked down by this monster, the world, niggas be like, yo, let me help you up. Like, this is an everyday thing for us. So when you bring the Justice Gang, it's like, okay. And the fact that they know him, it's like, it's kind of cool. Like, I'm catching up to what y'all go through every day. This is not like Justice League back then where it's like, nigga, how did you meet the Flash? Like, you didn't need no backstory for this. This was like a perfect. So when it comes to like what I just said earlier with the whole characters thing, it might work out. It's gonna be like, okay, you know who Shang-Chi is a little bit. We know, but it's like,
but the way they introduced it, bro,
it's just like you don't have enough credit in this universe. Because my thing is be like, where was you when where was you in Endgame?
Word.
Eternals, where was y'all at? Y'all was watching us? We don't need you here. And you know what's so funny? And this is just me just being far-fetched. If you was in the Endgame era like us, obviously, we have like survivor's remorse, nigga. Like, we survived the snap, bitch.
Oh, bro, we survived the blip. They didn't take us out, bro.
It's like, where were you? So anybody that could be like, where the hell was you at when we was going through this?
It would be like if we snapped right now, dog, y'all be gone. Like, yo, where'd you go, bro? Damn. And we're like, yo, this is PJ and PJ. Damn.
So let me ask you a question.
Go.
Now, because I know you asked me a lot. Like you kind of said, how do you feel if with the introductions, like, do you think when we get into Doomsday, Avengers, which is going to be everybody, do you think Marvel can just slip in people where it's like, well, you saw Riri before in this show, so it's okay that we just throw it there? Or do you feel like it requires a proper introduction of like who this person is?
I keep asking everybody. I ask you, I ask my brother, I ask all my friends that are into this. I was like, I'm still curious and I'm still in suspense on how they're going to get to this point. We know they're going to get to the point where Robert Downey Jr., the character we all know.
That's a big one too.
The person that we all know who played like literally the Hall of Fame of characters, bro. Iron Man, you know? Mm-hmm. How they're going to be able to use his same face, the same everything, you know, and turn it into a different character. There's ways to do that. There's definitely ways to do that based on the comic books. But how is the MCU going to do that? And I asked that very nervously because they have not had good success so far up until this point.
Yeah.
So I'm very scared because Endgame, y'all set the bar for that. That was the bar that was set. It was great.
Facts.
Personally, I think they should have stopped right there, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead.
Honestly, but then, okay, cool. You're now going to give us Avengers Doom. You have a lot riding on this movie now. And so far, your track record is not very good.
They've been failing. Phase 4 and 5 been failing, nigga.
So when you're to answer your question, if they sprinkle these characters like they're bringing in from Phase 4 and Phase 5, I'm gonna be very upset because you did not introduce them or spent the time needed to introduce these characters so that way they have relevancy in Avengers Doom. That's where I'm coming from.
And Marvel, I'm gonna say this: next week, Fantastic Four come out.
Oh,
y'all got a lot riding on this movie. They literally said this movie is supposed to be the turning point of Marvel. Like, we getting back on track, bro. Because if you saw Thunderbolts, if you didn't see it, spoiler alert, the extra scene was the Thunderbolts hanging out at the old tower, Avengers Tower, and it's like months later, and they're all upgraded, and they have a spaceship coming into their universe, into the atmosphere, and they had the Fantastic Four ship. A lot of people are speculating that that's not them in the ship. That's Dr. Doom.
That's Dr. Doom,
which introduces the Doomsday.
Let's go.
So I'm telling you, y'all niggas better. The fetish y'all showed that early before the movie came out.
Before the movie came out,
y'all better deliver. Like, if Dr. Doom leaves in Fantastic Four in a ship, we know that's accurate. If not, I'm saying
you get screwed it up.
So that's what I'm gonna say. But as far as Ironheart, bro, I'm gonna give Ironheart just a 7. Nothing crazy. It is what it is. I was not disappointed, but I wasn't impressed.
Yeah,
that's the best way to say. It was just something that was just there. What you give Ironheart, bro?
I would have to give you a 7. It's cool. 7 as well. It was a good show for it to be a 7. But again, the only reason why we're even watching all this movie because they all have connections and relevancy to lead up to the boom.
Just to lead, bro. So something that we're gonna end it here. You let us know what y'all think about Ironheart. Do you think Ironheart is getting a lot of backlash just because of the character, or is it other reasons? But instead of all that, we'll leave it at that. If you guys are not watching this, if you guys are watching this and not subscribed, that is effed up. But until next time, peace.
Peace.